Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. We're live in Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard. We'll get into NFL news coming up in 15 minutes. Brett McMurphy's going to be on the program at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk college football. Week 0 is here. A huge response to Blair Rodman in the previous hour.
Oh, he was great.
He was phenomenal.
Some of those stories, and imagine having that many outs and just going from book to book on the strip, and they all do different. They all do their same number.
Yeah,
all
numbers.
different.
Yeah, making their own lines.
Oh my God!
And so I'm curious what that would have been like that many years ago. Traffic's not anything close to what it is now, obviously out here. But how did you navigate doing that on the strip? Were you walking from casino to casino? Because that's got to be a hefty walk. Or was it easy to navigate by driving in and out of parking? Because back then, all free parking, obviously.
Rest in peace, Barry Holthouse would do that. He would just go, especially downtown, just walk it, and that'd just be his whole day. Looking at numbers and getting down and getting the best of it.
I was blown away by the story that he told about Paul Westhead.
So Paul Westhead's coaching the Lakers. He doesn't get along with Magic Johnson. He gets fired. Then what happened at Loyola Marymount, an all-time team. They go to the Elite Eight, the Hank Gathers story, Bo Kimball. He's there for 5 years. There was a stop in Chicago before that. And then for 2 years, he's with the Denver Nuggets. The books weren't wise to the fact that, hey, this guy likes to go up-tempo? I mean, a 70-point middle? Come on. He was there for a couple of years.
How about that story? So he was betting, he bet over 255, went around, came back in line, 258. Bet over 269, I think. He said he had 4 bets on the game. It closed 315, and he's got over 255 and other numbers in pocket. And he said, hey, we got a 70-point middle here. Should I come back the other way? Guy's like, nah, we're good. And it gets into the 320s. And then I could have talked to Blair all day long. I wonder where Denver games went after that. Were they opening at 280? Were they opening at 300? Because remember, you're playing college basketball and you're scoring, games are 110 to 105 in 40 minutes. You get 8 more minutes to work with here in the NBA. It's just going to, and you're playing with pros, by the way. 1,000 miles an hour. We'll give up a lot of easy layups because we want to score 175 points every game.
I got to go back and look at some of those game logs.
They were subscribed to press clippings from every injury report across the country. Nobody else had it.
Was that the team that set the record against the Isaiah Thomas Pistons? Wasn't it 170 to 160 or something?
Yeah, right? I think that sounds familiar. And they would just have that information all day long, but they couldn't get down to 4 o'clock. And then here you go.
What a time. What a time to be alive. You asked it too. You referenced it as well. Those pay phones outside the Stardust.
Oh, yeah.
The action and the workout that those things got. Everyone was on those back in the day.
You want to talk about a time to be alive, Pauly?
It was also a pain in the ass just to get a score back then. If you weren't in a sports book.
Hello, score phone.
You get right. Or you're watching CNN every 20 minutes.
Can you imagine back then how many, this is going to sound so stupid, but how many different payphone numbers you had either written down or memorized? And then you have to label it. That's number 6 over at the Mirage. And meanwhile, I'm going to call you on phone number 3 over at the Stardust. Or I guess you could just say when it rings, pick up, it's going to be me. And then remember, that's how we used to operate before cell phones. Back when you and I were in high school. Hey, be home at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Your word meant something.
Oh, I'll swing over, we'll pick you up.
I'll see you at the park at 3.
Yes.
You better be there.
Bring your glove. We're going to play catch.
You're SOL then. Is it have a catch or play catch?
It's definitely not have a catch.
Not have a catch.
Not have a catch.
I saw that. Field of Dreams. Come on.
Yeah.
These kids have it so easy now. My God, what it was like in the 80s and 90s. Just a pain in the ass to get a score back then.
No.
Oh, it was awesome.
What does you mentioned this earlier, kind of off betting the NFL preseason?
Well, the one thing that has worked is the Rams. For whatever reason, while McVay doesn't get, he's covered 8 in a row, and he goes out and wins by 34 points now. So this Bennett-Simpson duo that he's throwing out there, and Simpson will play. He doesn't know what's going to happen with Bennett. But they're just blowing people away and moving the ball at will. Oh, that's why none of this makes any sense.
That's another one, by the way, I was going to ask you about earlier.
Why are veterans or guys who have started a lot of games in this league look hideous, and then like a Bouchel or an Altmaier or this kid out of UConn, Fagnano, whatever, coming in.
How about the kid for Atlanta?
Strand.
Strand,
what he
yeah.
did. And then Cooper Rush, he's a veteran, but he just signed with Atlanta and was horrible against the Broncos. None of this all the moves have been wrong. None of this have made. Tampa Bay won, but they didn't cover. Tennessee won, didn't cover. All these moves have been wrong for 2 weeks.
Right. So what happens if the Rams release Stetson Bennett? Are they going to keep 3 quarterbacks? They're not going to release Ty Simpson. He was picked number 13 overall.
I would think he'd be a hot commodity.
I would think as a backup.
It seems he's got his personal life in order and what he was going through.
I'll tell you this.
But that's right. And another good one. For years, it was, hey, Trey Lance. Lance has been awful. DJ was awful. They were atrocious against the 49ers.
Well, and here you go. Aaron Moore, the professor, VSiN contributor, heard the prediction that somebody tweeted us earlier in the show and said he 100% agrees that if McCarthy gets cut by Minnesota, the Chargers will be the team to pick him up. Pointed out that Lance and DJU have been absolutely deplorable in the preseason. And so Harbaugh obviously knows McCarthy better than anybody. That will be the move. My question is, if Bennett gets cut, I think if I'm Minnesota, I pick him up and I drop both McCarthy and Wentz. That would be my play. I'd rather have him as the backup than either one of those guys.
Yeah. But some of it has just been shocking. Like it's supposed, like what O'Connell did Thursday. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's a veteran with a lot of starts going against fourth stringers. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Not what Richardson's doing, not what Riley Leonard's doing, to get beat 34-6 against a team that was on a 5-25 ATS run, and it's Cooper Rush and Strand. And then Deshaun Watson can't get a first down against third string and fourth string guys too.
There's a video that went viral after he kind of spiked one into the ground on a guy. His receiver was like 5 yards in front of him, had no chance of completing the pass. And the camera on the game cut over to Boston, the rookie receiver on the sideline, and he's disgusted. He's just like, this is seriously who we're going to go to war with as our quarterback? How does this happen? But he's going to be the guy now, and they get Jacksonville and Tampa Bay in their first 2 games.
That's not a bad angle about how the players might be like, you got to be kidding me. After what this guy said in his tirade, going after the fans, of all people to go after the fans, how bad he's been.
I know.
Right? But it's true, though. He said it. It's going to be 17 road games, and yet they named him the starter anyways. So good luck with that at Jacksonville.
Well, for the sake of the fan base, I hope it clicks with one of the quarterbacks on the team. It's a very long shot at this point.
Yes, it is.
There is a scenario here where either Shedeur Sanders is so bad that the fans and the media will be calling for Watson again, or everybody there is going to call for Dylan Gabriel at some point. Like either one of those.
The Gabriel angle, yes.
That can happen, and then he's going to come out and be like,
they
he's worse than the other 2 guys.
They don't want anything to do with him based on how bad he's been in the contract and the picks. I mean, it was just, they doubled down. It's all of it guaranteed, $230 million. He's only played 19 games, and they gave up 3 ones, a second, a third, and a fourth, whatever it was. And it still wasn't enough to get him. They had to guarantee the deal, or else he was going to Atlanta. And then he's got a QBR of 33.
Think about that.
With the worst in the league. So, and to make matters worse, hello, Flacco. That took him to the playoffs after he tore his Achilles the first time. So, sometimes you can't come back from this stuff, too. That's the other thing they have to realize. When Rizzo, who's on tomorrow, and he's seen 42 different quarterbacks since 1999, but when he said that last year about guys, I think the plan is going to be Watson last year, we said they got to be drug tested. But he was right again. Like, how could an organization say, let's go back to this guy when they should have got rid of him years ago? He shouldn't have been in the league.
Yeah. I'll add on
He's begging to just be cut, and they won't do it.
I would add on to my Stetson Bennett take. Maybe the Browns should be the team. If Bennett gets cut by the Rams, maybe the Browns should pick him up. There's not a possibility of him being a starter there?
Yeah. Well, you said it earlier, too. I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. I don't know how they're going to play this. But I can't imagine you keep 4 guys either.
I know.
But it's just they just took Will Howard as well, and he was a disaster last week. But at least they think something of Aller and how well he played in the first game. But there'll be some interesting moves, I think, and some guys that'll be available.
And then there's what happened yesterday with Ashton Genty. Mm-hmm. When that first came out, the report was sitting there that it was not good, suffered an injury, and his teammates kind of formed a prayer circle I mean, whenever you hear that, that means guy's done for the year. We had to wait until late last night / this morning to get some clarity on that result. And it turns out it's only a sprain. But the odds on, and again, I was watching this all in real time because I happened to be online when it happened. Mike Washington's odds dropped from as high as 120 to 1 to win Rookie of the Year in real time to like 15 to 1. At several books, by the way, around 15 to 1. Now that we found out it's only a sprain for Genty, Kelce went to like 2% on Anderson, and FanDuel is offering about 40 to 1. Genty's rushing yards prop before yesterday was 975.5. Books took it down, and I don't blame them for that.
Yeah. It's weird how everyone freaked out. It's like, let's say a prayer for the guy, and it's a sprained ankle.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense. What were you guys looking at? Game-used apparel, the autographs, trading cards from your favorite University of Hawaii student-athletes. Rainbow Authentics has you covered. Custom gear so you look your best every game day. Capture the moment, own a piece of history. Support Hawaii athletics, rooted in community and built on excellence. Rainbow Authentics empowers student-athletes and coaches, gives back locally, and it celebrates its island roots. Shop now at rainbowauthentics.com. Bring home a real piece of the action, rainbowauthentics.com.
We'll talk college football. Brett McMurphy on the program coming up in about 20 minutes. Week 0 is finally here in that great sport. Up next, I promise we're going to get to this. We'll tell you which team has been held scoreless in 3 of his last 5 starts, including each of his past 2 outings. In fact, they have lost 12 of his 25 starts this year, scoring 23 runs in those 12 losses. Unbelievable numbers. We'll pay it off for you coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So here's the picture I'm talking about in Major League Baseball tonight. The Guardians are at the Angels, and for Cleveland, Parker Messick takes the mound tonight. Now, he lost 1-0 his last start to the Giants. He allowed 1 run. He lasted 6 2/3. He had a season high, will match the season high with 10 strikeouts. And now Cleveland has been held scoreless in 3 of his last 5 starts, including each of his past 2. They have won 13 of his 25 starts this year, but the club has scored only 23 runs in the 12 defeats. His ERA is 2.54, Pauly. It's the 6th best in baseball.
There's a lot of games that stick out and say you should bet this here, and let's see how it's going to work out. And you got to be a little scared after what happened Friday and how easy it was, where every single favorite won on Friday night. But the other thing is you got to back some of these bullpens, but Cleveland's finally playing well. It looks like a good bet that they should be able to score, and maybe some Adele props as well. And I know it's hard to stomach because you see, how can the Nationals be $1.90? But what Cavalli has done and the run he's on against god-awful Colorado and Feltner, whose batting practice, 6-1 with a 1.98 his last 8 starts, and Chalk to have the most strikeouts with the daily specials. He almost no-hit the Cubs. And how good this guy's been so solid going back.
What's his number for most Ks?
I think it's like 4-1.
Okay.
Grab it. I'll look in a second.
That sounds about right with who else is going tonight.
Yeah. And it's 6 late games tonight, too, which is odd. But there's a lot of games like that, too, like Rasmussen. You don't know what you're going to get out of Valdez. And this guy's won 6 in a row. How strong he's been. Now, they have lost 7 of 10. But Wheeler's the favorite. My fault. He's 6-1. Well, I forgot about Wheeler. Wheeler's 3-1. But he's won 6 in a row with a 2-3-1. And now, I wonder, you think they're waving the flag? Do you think the writing's on the Detroit's lost 8 of 9 now? It's been ugly. They had their chance. They had Chicago coming in, first place on the line. They get swept, and now they're falling way behind everybody.
Isn't it funny, both these teams, how it works? The Rays were the hottest team in baseball. They won 9 straight. Then they got clubbed upside the head. And it's 3-7 now in the last 10 games. And my tickets on the White Sox, specifically to make the playoffs bet now, is dead. They were in the playoffs 10 days ago. And now they are 3.5 games out of the final wild card.
Yeah.
I have no confidence they're going to make that time up now. Their offense was incredible. I think they're 2-9 since Riley Green got hurt. So that is kind of factored into it. I will say this about Framber Valdez. He has won each of his last 2 starts against Tampa. He allowed 2 runs on only 6 hits in 14 2/3 innings combined, 1.23 ERA. He also struck out 9 batters in each of those starts. So I think that kind of factored in with, Rasmussen's so good, but his last start was by far his last one in a really long stretch now of games. In fact, in his last 6 starts, 6-0 with a 2.31 ERA. But in his last start, he allowed 5 runs in 5 innings. That's pretty much been it in his last 6 starts overall. So if you get that guy tonight, you really got to love laying a small number here with the Rays.
That's right. Same thing with the Red Sox. You think they keep it going? Suarez, this is also nuts. 4 races within 3.5 games. With 30 games left in the season. Atlanta's leads down to 3. Tampa's leads down to 3. White Sox, 3.5. I don't know what the hell's going on in the AL West. Nobody wants it. And I mentioned that earlier, that props up at William Hill, 82.5 wins for the division winner. But you referenced the great number Suarez has in this ballpark in about 20 minutes. Does he beat Sandy? Does the Red Sox keep it going where it seems no matter, a different hero every night? Guys, they're calling up from Pawtucket, getting it done. Casper's hitting home runs. And now finding ways to win after that miracle performance Saturday against the Giants, too.
I'm actually scared because every imaginable number here is pointing towards an under. First 5, full game, all of it. Alcantara at home, 2.69 ERA in 12 starts. Suarez on the road in 11 starts, a 2.75 ERA. As you said, 6-1 lifetime, 1.19 ERA here at this park. In 7 of those 9 starts, he's allowed no more than 1 run. So Alcantara's been great. Miami hasn't been able to score. In fact, they have lost 5 of his last 8 starts, despite him having an ERA of 2.21 and averaging 6 2/3 innings per game. I've said this before, maybe first 5 under 4. But it's just, again, every time I do that, we get 6-3 in the 4th inning. So it scares me off it a little bit.
Why are you worried about Robbie Ray? Padres are hot.
He's been bad.
Don't think they'll get to Ashcraft?
Wow, so
the offense is there now, finally. Tatis is hitting up. Padres finally playing a good ball. And about time. And now I think they should be able to hold off Arizona with it. Who knows? Might even catch the Phillies. They have a tough schedule. But they're 2 up on Arizona. How about the kid Marte at the casino? How about the pictures coming out?
They're all things
The guy's
now.
at the blackjack table. Oh, my God. This guy.
I mean, there's no way he can come back and play for the team.
You know people are going to take a picture of you.
Of course.
Hey, look at the guy's playing blackjack.
Yeah.
He's at talking stick or whatever it's called.
That's what it's called.
Oh, my God.
Paul, every other member of that team should have been in cover, having talks with the GM, the front office, the man. Like, this guy, come on. He's got to be off the team. He cannot come back and play for us again this year.
Lovello said he can do what he wants in his free time if he's not here. Well, come on. You can't sell that. You can't just be like...
So I'm going to go gamble rather than show up for a baseball game my team's playing?
That's what he said. You can't make this stuff up.
That's one of the most idiotic quotes I've ever heard.
This guy's AWOL and not showing up, and then he's playing blackjack. Well, they got a game going on.
Hey, Jed York can do whatever he wants when he's not at the facility. Okay, good.
A billionaire's calling a gal for $140 in a trailer park. What is going on today? This doesn't make any sense.
We live in the craziest times,
You're
man.
a billionaire. What do you? Yeah. Come on.
I get. So if you want to buy into maybe getting some positive regression here for Robbie Ray, but in 3 starts for San Diego, 4.20 with the ERA, the FIP 2 runs higher, the XFIP 2.5 runs higher, 11. This is the problem I have with Robbie Ray. The walks have now showed up again. 11 walks to 10 Ks.
It's a rat line, JJ would say. It's a rat line.
And Ashcraft has been super solid. His last 2 starts, complete game, 3 hits, 10 Ks at Miami, followed by 8 innings against the Tigers, 5 hits, 4 Ks.
Yeah. So, okay, fair enough. You're not there with Ray. I'm not there with Gossman tonight. Number one, you come off the 19-run performance, right?
Right.
Where it seems the team doesn't hit in the next game. And then he's been bad. So, I mean, the 3 starts with the Cubs, he got an ERA of 6. And Arizona can rake. And Merrill Kelly's plus 125 at home.
Give me a number on Reds' first 5. I want to lay a half a run. If the number is right. Here's why. Burns is going for
Wisenhunt's
Cincinnati.
terrible.
Yeah. Burns 14-2 on the year. In the first 5, he is 14-3-7. He's allowed, this is an amazing stat to me. So 3 starts this year.
It's up to $1.65 for the game.
Burns allowed 5 earned runs in those 3 different starts, 5 in each of them. 24 starts overall that he's made. He has allowed 0, 1, or 2 earned runs in 20 of his other starts. The outlier, well, the one start was a 3 earned runs. So that's, to put it another way, he's allowed 3 earned runs or more in only 4 starts and 2 or fewer in 20 of the 24. Guy is phenomenal. They've won 18 of his 24 starts this year. The club 19 games below 500 when anybody else in the rotation starts. So you have that going on top of the Giants are in free fall mode and Wisenhunt is batting practice.
Yeah, you sold me. No doubt. There's a lot of games like that as well. And the other thing, in addition to what's going on with these division races and all these teams under 500, the American League fighting for playoff spots, the race for the bottom. They have every division listed at Will Hill and Caesars. Who's going to finish in last place?
Ooh.
Some of these are big. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati tied, 69 losses. St. Louis only 3 back. Rockies 80 losses. Giants 78 losses. Some of these are big prices. Nationals 71 losses. Mets 72 losses. Angels 79 losses. A's 80 losses. That's a big price if you want the Angels. And how about this? Where'd this come from with Kansas City? They've won 8 in a row.
Oh, I know.
They're only 7 back.
You know that they were in the mix to actually have the worst record before that hot streak started?
I know. This is crazy.
They were right there with every other team that you just mentioned.
Bats are coming alive, scoring 10 every night. They've won 9 of 10. They have a 5-game lead over Detroit. And then you have Toronto and Baltimore, both with 68 losses. You can parlay this stuff, too, as we mentioned several times. But look at all these races. That's a good job that they put that market up.
Here's what's going to happen.
Kansas City coming out of nowhere.
One of these trash teams in the American League will go on a run in the playoffs.
Oh, don't say that.
It happens almost every year.
Oh, no. Why are you so down on the Yankees? The pitching's awesome.
I never said anything about being down on the Yankees.
You said they weren't going to do anything in the playoffs. They're going to get judged back. The pitching's awesome. They'll be all right. I mean, if there's one team...
I love the pitching.
Yeah?
Maybe I was being sarcastic. I don't even remember saying that, to be honest.
Who does Kansas City have coming up? Okay. It's Toronto and Cleveland, and then... But certainly this is...
There's nobody in the American League to like.
Yeah, true. But if they've won 8 in a row now, they're going to be an interesting bet when the September numbers are coming up.
We'll talk college football with America's insider, Brett McMurphy, coming up next. The Ole Miss tight end, Tennessee quarterback situation, North Carolina this year, all next year on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
College football week 0 is upon us. More on that now as we go out to the Progressive guest line. America's insider, Brett McMurphy, joins the program now. He is with On 3. So close. We've been able to taste it for a couple of weeks, but it's finally here, my friend.
Yeah, hopefully we can stop talking about lawsuits and portal transfer. I guess we're going to keep talking about guys that were in the NFL coming back to play college, but at least when we have some games going, that stuff will hopefully go to the background.
Well, I have to ask you about it. It's bananas, right? So Lane Kiffin said because of these rulings, they're going to play for you or someone else around the country is going to get them. LSU has signed 3 guys that were just waived, and the kid for the Browns suited up Saturday. Now he's going to play tight end for LSU.
He probably should play quarterback for the Browns, but I'm not an NFL guy.
Yeah.
I'm not an NFL guy. Yeah, Pauly, I mean, look, we've seen this a million times. Somebody gets a ruling they don't like, they get an injunction, they get a lawyer, they lawyer up, whatever. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, it's unfortunate that there is no ruling body in college football, but that's not a secret. But yeah, this stuff is going to continue to happen. I don't have a dog in the fight, so it really doesn't matter to me. But it's almost kind of like once a decision has been made, can anybody just stick with the decision instead of if you don't get the result you want? It's like, oh, I got to appeal this. What happened to get off my yard? what happened with making a decision and sticking by it, whether it's good or bad, and just go forward? But, that's not where it works today.
Totally agree. How big of a deal is this to you as Tennessee today announced that true freshman Faison Brandon is going to start week 1 against Furman? They get Georgia Tech the next week after that. Brett, former top 10 overall recruit and a 5-star.
Yeah, I mean, they're really excited about him. Running Heupel's offense, is going to be, showcase your skills. It was a close battle, but, they're confident with him. I mean, Tennessee, all we heard, during the SEC media days is all the coaches except for John Summerall crying about this 9-game schedule. So the question is, how many of these quarterbacks are going to be able to make it through this 9-game schedule? But, Tennessee's not at the top of the SEC as far as the power ratings, and I think the preseason predictions and all that stuff. I've got them going to the ReliaQuest Bowl just outside of the playoff. But, you wonder, there's got to be somebody besides Texas, besides Georgia, possibly Oklahoma, in that second tier that can jump up and get in the playoff. I think Tennessee potentially can be one of those teams. And I don't hold it against them that they've got a first-year guy starting either. The last 22 years, the starting quarterback that won a national championship, 11 was a first-time starter and 11 was a returning starter. So I think that's, in today's game, that's irrelevant. But I think it's good for the Vols, and let's see what they can do.
We start the season with Belichick. How do you think North Carolina is going to do, and what happens Saturday?
Well, I don't know. Unless they've just been playing possum and self-inflicting wounds to make everyone kind of overlook them, then I'm not expecting much from Carolina. I think what's the win total? 4.5, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of sharp folks like the under there. I would have to agree with that. TCU, I think can be sneaky good. They've got Hoover was the quarterback last year. They got the transfer from Harvard. I was told the big difference between them is Hoover would force stuff. When stuff's not there, he would throw it deep, force it. That's why he had a lot of turnovers. And perhaps part of that is they were trailing in games. They didn't have a good run game, whatever it may be. But their quarterback now, the transfer from Harvard, he will check it down. He'll take 5 yards and move to second down. And so I think TCU should be a lot better turnover-wise. Is that going to translate to more wins? I don't know, but I like TCU. The number's almost pushing 7. That may be a little bit too much, but I think TCU is the right side.
Okay, what do you make of this Stanford number against Hawaii? They were only favored one time last year against San Jose State. They failed to cover the 3.5 there. They won by 1. They were favored once in 2024. That was against Cal Poly, and they were favored once in 2023, and they lost to FCS Sacramento State. I know Hawaii is out without their star wide receiver, but should the Cardinal be laying this many points?
That's fine with me. I'll take them. I'll take the points. I like Hawaii here. I'd really like it if it wasn't a revenge game for Stanford. But with the portal, I mean, really, how many guys were on that team last year that'll be like, oh yeah, remember last year? I like what Timmy Chang's doing there. He just got a new 5-year deal at Hawaii. Richly deserved. And the good news for if you want to back Hawaii is you don't have to worry about any travel issues. They're not coming off the mainland and back and forth. It's the first game of the year, so travel's not going to be an option. If there's any negatives when they come to the mainland, it's certainly not going to surface in the season opener. I like Hawaii. I'll take the points. I think they win outright, Mitch.
Big game out. Wow, good for you. Right. Big game out here at night with Memphis and UNLV. Money on the Rebels. It got as high as 6.5. But also maybe a team from the Mountain West can make the playoff. What say you about this game and moving forward with the Mountain West Conference?
Yeah, Pauly, I've got I did my playoff and bowl projections today, and I've got UNLV as the Group of 6 representative. I think they can win the Mountain West. The schedule sets up nicely. They get Cal, I think, 3 or 4 games into the season. So that gives them a chance to get a Power 4 win. I just like what Dan's doing there. And, he's got a very good quarterback with Arnold. I talked to people there. They said they've been very impressed with what he's been able to do. Kind of their bugaboo in the past has been defensively. I mean, you guys, see it, every week out there. But I think, with the influx of transfers they've got and with Arnold at quarterback, I really like UNLV. And I think, we'll see. I could be wrong. It can happen once. But I like UNLV to be their group of 6 representative and go to the playoffs. So obviously they got to win. They got to win the season opener for that to happen.
Yep. True or false, Brett? At least one 3-loss team will make the playoff this year.
Mitch, I have kept saying all summer, no. But I will put an asterisk with that. If there is chaos in the Big 12, in the ACC, and they don't have a number of 11-1 or 10-2 teams, then I think a 9-3 Big 10 or 9-3 SEC at-large team can get in. But again, guys, we can talk about strength of schedule and we can talk about all that, for the rest of your show. It doesn't matter. The committee has done one thing over and over every year. No matter who's on the committee, they've all done the same thing. Mm-hmm. They have valued the team with the fewest losses. And until they change that and they pick a 9-3 at-large team over a 10-2 at-large team, I can just go by what they've done for the past 12 years. And again, if there are 10-2 teams from the Big 12, from the ACC out there, I think it's gonna be very, very hard for them to skip them to pick a 9-3 team. The nightmare scenario for the playoff, and of course I love nightmare scenarios, is BYU plays Notre Dame at home, biggest home game in school history, Provo. Let's say BYU beats Notre Dame, and the final rankings, and then BYU loses to Texas Tech, which is a lock, in the Big 12 title game, and then BYU comes in at number 11 in the final poll, and Notre Dame's number 12. And then one of the Power 4 conference champs is ranked outside the top 12. Well, they get an automatic bid because they're the conference champ. Well, guess what? Because Notre Dame is guaranteed a spot in the playoff, in that scenario, Notre Dame would get the final at-large bid over number 11 BYU because Notre Dame is guaranteed a spot if they're in the top 12. So even though BYU won head-to-head, which they do value, if they ranked 11, they would get leapfrogged by Notre Dame. And, tell me you wouldn't have a lot to talk about that week.
Glad you thought of that one. Oh, my God. That's in play?
Oh, man. So many people are going to go scorched earth under that scenario.
You got to root for it, man.
You have to. Honestly, now that's the only thing I want to happen this year.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But I do like Notre Dame. I think they're a top 5 team, top 7. Obviously, a lot of people have said the same thing. Can win the national title. But again, they've got a 2 or 3 game schedule, and they've got to win those 2 or 3 games. Miami, Notre Dame. They also have SMU. They cannot go over like last year.
Nope. You can follow Brett McMurphy on X at Brett_McMurphy. Read him at on3.com as well. Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, guys.
Up next,
thank you, buddy.
In Pocket Plays, and life is all about expectations. There's nothing worse when they fall short.
No.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
One more preseason game. Thank God it's over. A preseason I've never seen before in 25 years living here. Up is down, left is right. I mean, the Seinfeld episode, it's crazy. Every move is wrong, every line move. Quarterback battles, guys coming in, can't get first downs. Journeymans, or guys you never heard of, coming in and lighting it up. Doesn't make any sense. Colts money line, never a chance, blown out against Atlanta, who hasn't cared about the preseason in 8 years. Browns can't get a first down with Watson. Quarterback job, number 1 spot, number 2 spot, all on the line. Can't get a first down, yet Shane Buechele looks like Joe Namath. No good there. And the Titans won, but didn't go money line. They won, but didn't cover. And how bad was Cam Ward? Like, you can't move the ball against backups?
Pretty alarming.
And then you got Levis and Trubisky behind him. And what's going on here? These are veterans who made a ton of McCarthy and Wentz. 3 points. Massacre. Okay, we'll go. So based on how bad the Browns have been, and I think they're right there with Miami and Arizona. Tony Rizzo on tomorrow. He says it's fade material, and you got to take Jacksonville week 1 as survivor. He'll state the case about how bad this team is, and 10 new offensive starters, and now 17 road games, and they start with 1 in Jacksonville against a team that was awesome last year and won 13 games. They're laying 7.5 week 1. That's the new play, and I just...
No teaser action with Jacksonville?
You do that. They cannot get out of their own way. You can't... 30 yards passing in the second half when you're trying to solidify and lock down the spot to be the quarterback, and then you call out the fans afterwards. It's disrespectful to boo. I love Monken. It's like, this is a business we're in. You get cold soup. It's like, come on, you got to do better, right? Thought that was excellent. So Jacksonville 7.5. Let's go.
All right. Good luck, Pauly. Had the Cubs on Friday night even money. That was a Malinsky special for the Mariners. They lost that game. I'm blanking now. Was that the game that Arozarena did?
They blew it in the ninth?
I think Arozarena, is that the game that he led off? Then he finished the game much like PCA? I think that was. And the Mariners got him. I think 5-4 was the score on Friday night, so that was a loser. That was no good, unfortunately. Other stuff that we have coming up, I think I gave these out. It was last week. It had to be. Thinking the numbers were going to come back the other way. Certainly not go up any more than what they were. A little bit of that. So Hawaii +6 is in pocket against Stanford. That's like 5.5 now. And Memphis +6.5 out here against UNLV. That number is now down to 5.5. I didn't think that game was going to go to 7. Looks to be right as of right now. And this Stafford game's tough now. Maybe that does go back up, but I'll take my chances here with both dogs in those games.
Tampa's already scored, and 2 on with 1 out against Valdez. All right, 8 games Saturday. College football is here. Sharp plays. Been with Follow the Money since day one. Jeff and the crew do a great job. Support them. They support us. Look for the daily Mr. Poison tweets. And they reach out to over 500 sources and bettors worldwide across all sports. Sent it to subscribers in real time. All of it filtered and sorted by version 6.0 of their AI model. Every play logged, every result public back to 2011. No steam chasing, no stale trends, no recycle plays. Follow the Sharp Money at sharpplays.com. Hit me with it.
Okay, so do you remember the first time you either could have been watching a movie, listening to an album, a sporting event, could have been the 99 NFC title game, where your expectations were either absolutely destroyed or you were completely stunned at how good it was?
Yes.
You do. The first movie that I can remember this happening with, big time, was my buddy brought over Snatch one night with Brad Pitt. I said, what are you doing with this movie? It looks absolutely god-awful. 2 hours later, I told him I'm genuinely blown away at how good it was. I couldn't believe it.
I was very disappointed after I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
Got a lot of hype there. Love Tarantino. Didn't deliver for me.
So I told you this last week, getting ready to go to Guns N' Roses. The first time I saw them, the only time I had ever seen them until Saturday night, was 2017 when they opened up the T-Mobile here, where the Golden Knights play. Top 5 concert I've ever seen. Top 5.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Okay. That's interesting to note.
That's a hockey arena.
Okay.
It was awesome. Unbelievable, obviously. Sounded amazing. Played every hit imaginable. Go on Saturday night. My buddy and I, great day for my buddy and I. Came over to the house. We went gambling a little bit during the day. Got there early. Upgraded our tickets to like all you could eat. Had a couple of pops. And first of all, Black Crowes came on, which at that point I should have known that there was maybe a potential problem because it just didn't sound right to me. Like the acoustics were way off. They put on a damn, you could just tell. Like I would really like to see Black Crowes at a smaller venue where the audio would be better. They also never played Hard to Handle. So I'm like, they really just came out here, played. Anyway, Guns N' Roses comes on, and I look at my buddy, Welcome to the Jungle opens it up. And then after that, I tell my buddy, is something off? Like, is that my imagination?
You've heard this before about Allegiant and concerts.
I actually dreaded going there for a show because I had heard nothing but basically horror stories. About
What's the problem?
Echo throughout.
We got several emails. Guy said he left.
Oh, a lot of people left early.
What is the deal?
I will give it the entire show that night a solid. I am unwavering on this.
But it's not on the band. It's on the acoustics.
I will give it a D grade.
Oh, no.
My entire experience overall. I will never go back there for another concert ever in my entire life. Doesn't matter who plays. You could tell me anything. Not going to go. Like they brought it. You could tell that they were trying to put on a great show. Slash was great. He could play linebacker, by the way, for the Raiders out here.
The whole show's up on YouTube. I was watching. Big fella, yeah. But Duff looks great.
Yep. So, but I think
there's
Slash
something
put on
wrong.
muscle the way it looks.
Okay. There's something wrong with the sound.
Yeah, and then they also went more than an hour, I would say. They played one hit in the span of like an hour plus. Unrecognizable songs. I mean, I kept looking at my buddy like, and he kept looking at me like, and
That's fair.
He knows music, man. And he's like, what is this song?
Yeah.
What is that song?
I love Appetite. I am not a big fan of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. That's when Axl got a little kooky.
Yeah.
Piano and other stuff. So I'm looking at the set list, what they played too, and a lot of it's like, wow.
That's what I thought for that
Boy, oh boy.
hour plus.
A D?
Oh, it's a D at best.
That's
D
too
at best.
bad.
And so many people who we knew, because we went to a place across the street. There was a local radio station, Pauly. You and I used to work there. A bunch of people showed up, people who used to work with. A ton of people, right? We got reports from a lot. App bailed. Not sticking around for this. There's something completely wrong with how the music comes across when you're there for a concert. I'm one and done. I will never go back.
Wow.
I can't believe it's been in existence now for 5 or 6 years. It's still a problem like this? You got to be kidding me.
All right. I'll try to be positive. That's too bad. That is too bad.
Oh, I was
looking forward to it.
It was a super fun day, unfortunately.
I never told this story before, but it ties in like the rock music scene and everything, the glory days. I didn't go this year, but every year I go to SoCal and stay by the Sunset Strip and get a place at the London. I usually go with Shauna. And I go to the Rainbow Bar and Grill. All that history, all the bands, Motley Crue, all that scene on the Sunset Strip. And I went, and there's a statue of Lemmy. And I go, why is there a statue of Lemmy? And it says Lemmy's Lounge, the lead singer of Motorhead. He goes, he used to come in here every day. It's just his spot, his routine. Yeah, he got a place he lived down the street for 1990 to 2000. He passed away in 2015. From 1990 to 2015, he would come here. If he wasn't touring, every single day, that was his routine.
Oh, my God.
They got a statue for him, all the stuff. His urn was there when he passed away. I go, well, tell me what his routine was. Well, then you read. The guy would take speed every day. He drank a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he would play video poker there at the Rainbow.
That's what the response was.
He lived till he was 70 years old. That was his routine. He smoked 2 packs a day.
Oh, my God.
He was thinking years ago about a blood transfusion. The doctor said his blood looked like chemical paste. He goes, I had to do the speed because I was up there in age, and there's no way I could survive the touring and the grind and being in a rock and roll all the time. And he would drink Jack and Coke and have a whole bottle at the Rainbow. And that was his routine. Oh. And then he lived till he was 70. But I'm like, there's the statue of Lemmy.
Well, that's
the lead singer of Motorhead. And I had no idea he was there every day. And the guy was living in a rent-controlled apartment 2 blocks away. And that's what he loved to do. And that was his life.
Baked in, never wanted to get out of there.
Never wanted to go. That was his whole routine.
That's amazing.
And no idea. And there's the statue. Lead singer of a iconic rock and roll band.
Good as gets, or bad as it gets.
So you're thinking about, hey, eat well, live clean.
Sure.
This
why?
guy's 2 packs a day, Jack Daniels and speed, and he lives till he's 70.
Hey, tomorrow we're going to step inside our pizzeria, break out the tip jar. We want to see your plays. You can email the show, ftm@vsin.com. That's ftm@vsin.com. Put your name on it and the state as well. Or you can also tweet us at VSiN Live and Mitch Moss Radio at Pauly Howard. Stay tuned. Prime time next. Matt Humans, Tim Murray. Tonight, they're going to go on the other side of the counter with DraftKings Johnny Avello, followed by Cashing Out with Scott Seidenberg tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern. Tomorrow morning, get your betting day started. VSiN by the books. Dave Ross and Jensen Lewis at 7 a.m. Eastern. Good luck tonight.